Go ahead.
While Josh was on his leave, Jalen Tillman, I thought admirably at left tackle. I guess what's the thought process with him maybe being right and Wanya left this week?
Yeah, just as we go through that process with these players and where they're at for us, there's a little bit of a process between Coach Reed, Coach Heck, where the guys are. So we all talk through that, and we end up making a decision on how that goes and with the guys. And then we leave it at that. Wherever it is, we want those guys to go out and do everything they can to trust their fundamentals and technique. Obviously, we're seeing a great pass rush. That's not telling anybody anything we don't know. So we got to find ways to be able to, in any way possible, give our guys the best advantage, in when they play.
Is that the prioritizing one position where they both feel comfortable, who you're playing against? Like, what goes into
No, I wouldn't say it's who you're playing against as much as just the discussion of what's best for those guys, where they're comfortable, and then in the end, whatever decision is made, you got to go with it, and you can't look back on it.
It looked like John Hussey said something on the sideline after the OPI. What did he tell you guys?
Yeah, that was it was on that 3rd and 6 play, and that's a we talked about it this week. It's a difficult one. What's hard is that we as coaches, you coach the players to trust the process. You coach the players to trust the play, and they executed it. I would say that Xavier did everything that he was supposed to do on that route. What they were in coverage-wise was set up for the play, and unfortunately, it didn't go our way. So it's a tough one because Monday through Friday we put in some time in trying to tell the guys why we want to run a play and how to do it, and then when you do it, there's a little bit of trust equity that you build up that maybe gets dinged a little bit as a coach when that happens. So I think that's what's real, and so there can be frustration. By no means did that affect the win or loss, of what happened in the game, but those guys did what we asked them to do on that play. It was a penalty. They called a penalty, and you have to recover from it. But there was just a little discussion as to what happened, so we can have clarification. And sometimes those ones are hard to, especially coming out start the 3rd quarter when we know it's important to get points and score touchdowns, and it didn't happen. So, that one was tough.
Is that one of those where you'll get some clarification later in the week that maybe you send into the league if you've got any feedback on that particular call?
Yeah, that would be one of those that you get that, and again, the referees have a tough job. It's not easy, and it's everything happens quickly, and there's a lot that goes on. Again, when you can go back and look at it, we talked to the guys this week, and I would tell them to do nothing. I mean, he was literally running his route, and the defender initiated the contact and ran into him. I mean, he's, so if we called that 10 more times, I would tell Xavier, do it 10 more times, run the play the way you did, because you did it the right way. You were running your route. But unfortunately, it was called, and we have to be able to understand that had nothing to do with anything with the outcome. But we now just got to go back, and when you teach plays Monday through Friday, when you talk to the guys, you got to be able to explain to them, like, this is why we're going to do it this way. This is what should happen, and if it doesn't, okay, how do we recover and handle adversity of a 10-yard penalty to make it 3rd and 16? And the guys have been great with that. So that's what we got to do, and that's what we will do.
When he was asked about this Texans game, Pat said he emphasized running the football, getting the ball out fast. I guess just considering some of the missing players along protection.
Sure.
Versus this game plan, I guess, without saying too much into.
Sure, yeah. Again, the very first thing that you notice when you watch this Texans defense, you see them on TV or you watch them like we do in the cut-ups that we have, is they're super relentless. The edge pressure that they have, they don't have to bring much pressure. They can get a lot of pressure one-on-one. They're really, really good on the edge. They're really, really good on their whole defense. So when you have the guys on the inside, the linebackers, the DBs, everything, it presents a challenge. I think in this game for us, we create our game plan offensively. What do we want to do? Make that loud and clear to the offense in the beginning of the week. And then we got to execute it and know what kind of game this is going to be. It's probably not going to be a real pretty game, and that's okay. This team doesn't allow many points. So when you go into it, the goal is to score as many as you can, but what's real and how you're going to do it. And I think the team messaging, the offensive messaging from us is just do what you're supposed to do, coach how we're supposed to coach. And we have a lot of trust in our guys, and I think a lot of confidence, but we have a lot of respect because they're a good football team and they're very well coached.
Hey, Matt,
Couple more.
Matt, going back to the process part of this, you obviously work really closely with Pat in the
Yeah.
offseason to figure out what he needs to improve on. Can you just take me through what you've seen from him this year from a process standpoint and how he's handled all those things he wanted to improve on?
Yeah, we always talk about his feet. Mentally this year, we talked a little bit about more aggressiveness for all of us. So I think he's done a great job with that. I think the next step now is with the mental side of it, the process of, okay, it's not there, check it down. He had 3 of those last week. That's growth. When you have 3 plays where it's okay, it's not there, they didn't give it to us, check it down to the back, check it down to the tight end, make it 2nd and 3 instead of 2nd and 10, that's growth. We're still working on some things, footwork wise, which we always do, but I think like the play action stuff, he's done a great job with being really good with play action. So there's a lot. I mean, he has really done an amazing job this year of really sticking true to what we want to do progression wise within the concepts. And then he's the most competitive human being I've ever been around. So like you get in a game like last week, we get that touchdown at the end of the game, and he was ready to roll and go down there and win the game, and that's just who he is. So I like where he's at, and again, I think mindset-wise for us as a team and an offense, I know internally is looking forward to this weekend, and he's a leader that's going to lead us, and that's one of his greatest strengths.
Regarding the run,
Yeah, go ahead.
Harold and then
Go ahead.
regarding the run game, a lot
Yeah.
of people have talked about the under center runs and everything. Just how would you evaluate using more of those maybe throughout the game if you see the success that you might have early in the game?
Yeah, it's been under center runs have been good for us. So making sure that we don't get away from that, match some things up with it to protect us schematically, and you're getting now to what everybody says, right? You get into cold weather games, a little bit of the elements. The run game tends to jump up a little bit, so I don't think that's a hidden fact. But whatever we do now, the downhill, there's a million different schemes you can do from dot runs or under center runs. It's doing what we do well, pairing it up, but then also too, not taking away what we do in the RPO world as well. So just kind of balancing both of that in the run game.
Last one, Sam.
There were a few times where you guys got backed up because of the penalties. I mean, the Xavier play, the Josh Simmons penalty. Andy had mentioned something Monday about there's only so many plays. What's the balance of trying to go for it there versus maybe burning something that you need later in the game, knowing that you're that far backed up?
Right. There is a balance, and whatever coach ends up deciding to do, we roll with. For us, you keep hearing like we're so close, and I know that becomes insanity after a while. It's like, okay, so close can happen so many times. It's got to be fixed. It's got to be changed. And so, in whatever it is, if it's decision making with where we're at, if there's a penalty that we get, for some reason it just feels like we're getting like past the 50-yard line into that big red zone area, and then there's a penalty, whether it's a hold, a false start, something that's unfortunate. So you, as a coach, you really try to dig in and say, why is that? What are we doing? It keeps happening. So we touch on it. We make sure the guys understand it. And then, decision making on what you do within the play scheme, go for it, not go for it, fourth down. Coming away with points is huge. So I don't know. I would just say the biggest thing is just everything we can. Like if you go back, I don't know the exact numbers, but if you don't have penalties, when we don't have penalties on offense, we're pretty good. We're pretty good. So whatever it is, like we stop with the penalties, and again, the ones that you can do, that are, I guess, controllable, stop them. If they're not controllable, keep doing what you're doing. We'll deal with that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.